Yo, have you seen 90 Day Fiance?
No.
No, bro, I've been hooked on that show for the last week.
Sending me clips though, left
bro,
and right.
It's so funny. Like, so the whole concept of the show is you bring somebody over from another country into the United States, right? I mean, I guess they have a whole bunch of shows. They have like a show where you as an American go to another country, and get married to them there. You go through that process.
Realistically, how is that legal? I thought that was like. Isn't that illegal?
No, it's legal. It's illegal if you're doing it strictly for the purposes of immigrating somebody over. But when it's like that's why you have you bring them over from another country, then you have 90 days to get married. If you don't get married, then they get deported.
90 days to fall in love.
90 days to fall in love. Yeah, technically. Yeah, bro, it's weird. A lot of them do make it though, but some of them you just look at them and you're like, oh, yeah. So what
do you know what defines something illegal when you do it? Like, let's just say you fake the funk of marriage and you're in love. If you just got somebody here, bring them here, gave them their green card, and then they dipped out on you, that's illegal.
I think that's illegal, bro. But that happened in this last season.
So how the fuck?
And that's on TV, and I'm just like, what's gonna happen now?
That's what I'm saying. Where's the line that?
Welcome to the Morning Dinner Podcast, everybody. You guys are watching this video, and we have gone.
Hey, look at me real quick. Look at me.
Oh.
Bro, one of your beard hairs is so long.
Yeah, I gotta trim it up.
Good shit, dude.
It's all good, man. I gotta trim it up.
That shit's like long, bro. It's like this.
And I haven't gotten a haircut in like 3-4 weeks now.
Y'all can't see it, but let me just.
Is it still sticking out?
Let me see. Look at me. No.
Okay, good.
Dog, cool. That shit was like.
This is episode 71.
71.
Oh, whoops, no, I'm lying. 72 of the Morning Dinner Podcast.
How do you say that in Spanish?
72. 72. Yeah.
That's tight.
We got Danny Shepard in the house tonight. We'll give you guys a quick read through of his bio. Danny Shepard, I think that's how you say his last name. Shepard or Shepard?
Shepard, probably.
I think it's Shepard.
Shepard.
Danny is a Las Vegas-based director and storyteller with a specialization in action and visual effects. Having founded the YouTube channel known as Ismahawk and gained nearly 100 million views since 2012, Danny continues to create a variety of work from passion-driven creative projects to Hollywood-level visuals on an independent-level budget.
100 million views.
This is going to be a dope episode, man. Because we had Jeremy on. Remember Jeremy?
Yeah.
He is also from Ismahawk, and we got his perspective on things.
Which you guys should definitely check that episode out because he had a lot of great insight on just the video world, the YouTube world, and all that. So if you want to check that out, go back to our channel. And subscribe.
We'll also do the little link. What's it called? The little button that pops out. That way you can click it.
Top right corner. Top left corner.
Yeah,
top right corner.
It should be over Chuck's head.
If you're looking at me, should be right.
Ooh.
Cheer.
There you go. And this episode's going to be tight, man. We're excited to get it going. We got a lot of questions from how he got started, how his workflow is, making connections, and just creating higher level budget projects.
Super hyped. I got so many questions.
Because he's definitely on a different level.
I never say anything. Okay.
But yeah, without further ado, here we go. Episode 72 with Danny Shepard.
I love you guys.
Every time I come in the kitchen, you in the kitchen. In the goddamn refrigerator.
I sure am hungry.
What's up, Danny?
What's going on?
How's your day going so far, man?
It's going well, dude. Just going well.
Yeah, it's a beautiful Wednesday afternoon.
Beautiful Wednesday afternoon. I'm here with a couple of buddies.
Hey, getting together for the first time ever. We always say this podcast is really a way for us to meet new people because a lot of the guests that we have on, we have them on for the first time.
Yeah.
So thank you for joining us today, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
So real quick, for people who are tuning in, and I give them a little read through bio of who you are, but for those who are listening and you kind of want to like give them an elevator pitch on who you are, you just kind of give people a rundown on who you are and what you do?
Yeah, I'm terrible at these, but my name is Danny Shepard. I am a director, actor, visual effects artist, local filmmaker here out of Las Vegas. I'm best known for the work that I've done on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Ismahawk, where we make action scenes and visual effects action choreography videos with like superheroes and fun stuff, and yeah, that's
nice.
That's a little glimpse into who I am. I like to think that I'm just a little bit more. There's a little bit more to me than that.
I like that, man. It comes across through in your acting too. Like you're very dynamic.
Thank you.
we had Jeremy Lee on the podcast earlier last year, and Rob Chotto too. You work closely with those two guys.
I do.
They help you like with the whole creation of these videos, right?
Yep. That's
how did that? Because I know we spoke about it with Jeremy, but it's been a while, so I kind of forgot. How did that dynamic of your friendship begin with both of them?
So Jeremy and I met when we were working at Best Buy.
That's right.
Yeah, I was 18 or 19. He had, I think, just graduated high school. He started working at Best Buy. And he was new. He was the first new guy who got hired after me. It had been 6 months since anybody new had been hired after me. So like I was like, hazing him a little bit. I was like, I'm not the new guy anymore. So and I had no idea at the time that I would be hazing one of my best friends and greatest collaborators and biggest inspirations, because that's eventually what Jeremy became. We just kind of started talking at work and just talking about like our crazy ideas and like what we wanted to do and what we wanted out of life. And we noticed that we had a lot of similar interests, similar aspirations, and it kind of just happened pretty organically. I made some videos, started posting them on the internet, and Jeremy started giving me feedback. It was like, hey, I think your visual effects would look better if you didn't do that, or whatever crappy effect I was doing back in 2008 or 9.
Damn.
And yeah, geez, we've been pretty inseparable. He's my roommate now, and we've been collaborating since, really consistently since like 2011 maybe.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, when we talked to him, I now remember, he mentioned that he was also going to UNLV at the time.
Yep.
And I think that's where he met Rob Chotto, and that's how you guys all kind of got together, right?
Yep.
What, as far as like the filmmaking go, because you guys do a lot of dope stuff, and I just want to say congratulations on all the work and all the success that you guys have had so far. Like it really, and especially like from a city who doesn't really have anybody like that, I would say you guys are probably like the biggest out here when it comes to like putting out quality content.
Yeah, 100%.
You are way too kind. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
And I want to ask, how did you decide that you wanted to start either in acting or directing or doing VFX? Like, was that something that you grew up wanting, or was that like something that came along later?
Like I've wanted doing what I do now has been my dream since I was 8 years old.
Oh wow.
I have been trying to make it happen since then. I started acting as a kid. I think I started going on auditions and stuff as like a child actor when I was 8. I landed a movie when I was 13, and that was like the big thing for me. I was like 6 on the call sheet, and it was like this super low budget movie that shot out in St. George called Down in Derby, and that was really the big thing that kind of started it. That really solidified that this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. And I started out with acting, and acting was, I think, my biggest passion for a really long time. And then as I started getting older, I started noticing that it's a saturated market with acting, and it's hard to break in unless you know someone or unless you really stand out. So when I was thinking about that, I was like, okay, how can I make it as an actor? Like I'm going to film school right now. I'm learning a little bit of everything just to kind of keep myself well-rounded. What's the best way to do this? I'm like, do I move to LA? Do I pound the pavement like everybody else I know and then come back with my tail between my legs? Because I do know unfortunately, a lot of people who've been forced to do that. They go and they try to do it the classic way. You go pound the pavement, work hard, and some people get lucky and some people don't. But I'm like, there's too much chance in that. There's too much. I'm giving too much control over to outside forces, and I wanted to take a lot of that into my own hands and see what I can do myself to make these dreams a reality.
You wanted to be all you could be and offer all that you could offer.
Yeah.
To get to that next level.
100%. You know, I didn't want anybody to tell me who I could be or what I can be. I'm Middle Eastern, so my dad actually was an actor when he actually. He went to school for acting. He actually went to school with Mark Hamill.
Oh, nice!
Yeah, so one of the coolest fun facts.
That's awesome.
He was like, "Yeah, I went to school with acting school with Mark Hamill." So he tried to do it, and his, he didn't get a lot of support. He was told that you're gonna play stereotypes the rest of your life. He was a fresh off the boat Iranian from who came here when he was 13 and acting is what he wanted to do, but society just kind of made it difficult. Mm-hmm. And I always kind of thought about that, like, okay, well, I don't want to just play stereotypes. I want to be a superhero. That's what I've always wanted to be. I'm a nerd. And I'm like, I see myself as being like a badass superhero and whatnot. And I was like, those are the kind of roles I want to play. I want to be a role model. I want to inspire people, not play into stereotypes and whatnot. So that was another, something that got the ball rolling to start Ismahawk and to kind of just start doing my own thing,
So it was kind of your way of saying, if Hollywood is not going to cast for the superhero, for the badass main character, then I'm going to create that character and I'm going to try to like make my way into that industry, right?
Seems crazy when you say it like that. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
because it is a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what though? Like I've been seeing it a lot on the news lately. How it's mostly like they'll give like an American or like a white person an ethnic role, right? And you see it all the time,
right?
Who was it? I can't remember their name, but there's a lot of actors who have played either like Mexican roles or like or an Asian. And what was it? Scarlett Johansson's recently like under fire for that too.
Yeah.
Which I don't think it's right to like kind of like blame the actress or the actor because they're just looking for work, right?
Just looking for work.
But I think it's the whole psychology behind it, like, oh well, you got to have like a male or a female like white lead because that's what sells, right?
Right.
And if you hadn't told me that you were Middle Eastern, I would never have thought. I see like American. That's all I see. You know what I mean? So it's like
that's what I am.
So, exactly. So like
born and raised in America.
There we go. So like I kind of want to talk about. What about VFX? Because you do not only acting or produce these films, you do the visual effects. Did you go to school for that, or was that something that you kind of learned on your own on YouTube?
Yeah, just learned by watching tutorials. Honestly, most of the stuff that I've learned is from like just watching tutorials and doing it.
YouTube University.
Yeah, man. Because I went to film school. I had 4 years of film school under my belt.
Actually like filming and directing, or
directing, acting, and screenwriting were my major emphasis. There was no visual effects. There's no visual effects at least at that time. I don't know if there is now. I graduated in 2012.
Okay.
But there was no visual effects like classes at UNLV when I was there. So I kind of had to teach myself. I kind of had to just learn by doing, and it started with like when I was 15, just doing lightsaber effect on with me and my stupid friends, just doing a stupid lightsaber fight and that's how it started, and it's just kind of like the tools have gotten a little better, a little easier, and it's just it's fun. Doing visual effects is fun.
So was Video Copilot out at that point in time?
Video Copilot was out.
What's his name? I can't.
Andrew Kramer.
Andrew Kramer, yeah.
What's up? Andrew Kramer here with videocopilot.net. I've memorized his intro.
That's how many times you watch the tutorial. Because you have to watch it like multiple times when you first start.
I'm gonna keep it real. Like I've always wanted to learn VFX, but man, I just cannot keep up, and I just do not have the patience for it. Like I would always start Andrew Kramer's videos, but I just like, I'll just send it to somebody else who can do it. I couldn't. Like that takes so much patience. It says a lot about you as an artist that you have the patience to be able to not only just act, direct, produce, but also do the visual effects and the editing. That's insane, man.
I want it.
That's what I respect about you is just like you already have like a sense of like creativity behind you. So everything you learn, it looks good. You know what I mean? It's quality. And I know we all start from some place. Like it didn't just overnight. But like, so what school did you go to? You went to UNLV?
I went to UNLV for college, yeah.
And when you were starting with the effects and all that, like, where am I trying to go with this?
Talking about like the process of it.
Yeah, like how did you find out like, okay, this is kind of what I want to do, and at this point now, like, do you still do all the visual effects for all the Ismahawk?
I literally just stepped away from my computer while I was doing visual effects to come to this podcast. So yes.
Damn.
Jeremy's phenomenal in his own right and can also do visual effects. So he takes on some of the work sometimes, and we have an intern who helps me with some of the more tedious things.
That's like awesome.
Rotoscoping and
awesome.
Tracking.
I actually had a question about interning.
Yeah.
Because we were looking for an intern for the podcast to kind of run like the video and audio while we do our thing. Is that do you have to have a license for anything like that, or is it something that you could just ask around and just have somebody do like?
We don't have a license. So
really? Okay.
So if it's illegal, then
sorry.
I guess I'm being put like I'm on record with that right now.
Yeah.
Well, no, because I don't know if it was something that you needed like an LLC for, or if it's something you could just say, hey man, I'll give you like $20 if you just help us do like for an hour. You know what I mean? Like.
I think like for us, the two interns that we do have, I mean, we call them interns. They're really our friends at this point, and they are two super talented, super enthusiastic young kids. One's 19, the other one is 22, and they were fans of our YouTube channel. They're fans of our podcast. And we were like, hey, we're looking for some people to help, pick up some of the slack for us, so maybe some help on set, maybe some help in doing visual effects. And these two, a bunch of people applied, but these two they really stood out. They're
That's
really,
awesome.
really dope kids.
I feel like the opportunity that they're going to have just by interning with you guys and being on set is going to be so valuable in the long run.
Exponential.
Because I
hope so.
I saw the last video that you guys posted on your YouTube channel, which is like a behind the scenes look.
Yeah.
At the what was it called?
It was the death battle. We shot a fight scene for the YouTube channel. Used to be called Screw Attack, is now called Death Battle, where they do death battles. And we shot their very first live action. That was the behind the scenes for that. Yeah,
so I was looking at that video and I was like, damn, like you guys are legitimately working with a team of people. This is not like we're just gonna do it on a Tuesday. Like you plan this out in advance. So you would say that your process has kind of like escalated over the years, right? Like from 100%. Just like, hey Jeremy, I'll see you on Tuesday and we'll shoot this little scene, to now it's like, okay, now we gotta have like a set manager, we gotta have like a costume department or like a makeup artist, like all those kinds of things. What has that process taught you of being an artist and collaborating with other people?
I mean, the biggest thing is that like everybody who works on set with me is part of my family. As far as I'm concerned, like if you're on one of my sets, it's because like we're already like this. We have a really tight-knit team, and that team is accumulated and built up over time. We didn't always have a huge crew. We just really interesting thing. If there's anybody out there who's listening and you're trying to figure out how to get started, I think the way to answer your question is to just say, like, when you start off doing something, nobody's going to help you. Nobody's going to want to help you because you haven't proven yourself. Nobody knows that you're worth helping. You know what I mean? So like when you go in, you put the work and you're pounding the pavement, you're doing the visual effects, you're editing, you're directing, you're producing, you're acting, you're doing everything yourself, and the thing is, even if you're doing a terrible job, it's like eventually someone's going to say, I think what you're doing is pretty cool and I'd love to be a part of it. And that's kind of how it just went. It's like Jeremy has his friends and contacts who he's made and he's brought into the family. Like I have my friends and contacts who I brought into the family, and we just kind of just started. Next thing I know, it's like our crew is massive and there's like 30 people on set. Everybody's going and doing stuff, picking stuff up. And I'm just like, even me, dude, like when I'm on set, I'm just like, I remember one day when I got on set, when we were doing the Nightwing versus Daredevil project for Death Battle, I walked on set and I was slightly late because I had to pick up one of our performers, and I noticed that everybody was like working like little worker ants, and it was like people were just getting up and like doing things, and I was just like it literally looked like so much more organized than what I was even used to at that point. And I was just like,
it's a little intimidating.
We did it, Ma. We out here. years.
So the beginning, it was just you and Jeremy, or how many people were on the team?
In the beginning, it was just me.
Oh.
And then Jeremy joined shortly after. So I think I was like a few months in, Jeremy joined me, and then we got a couple other people, but like really our crew has really, really expanded in the last, I'd say 2 years, as we're, cause we started off with our YouTube channel and I love making the kind of content that we made for our YouTube channel, but, really we're growing and we're trying to grow and we're trying to continue to grow. Our dream is to be filmmakers, and our dream is to make high quality, high production value films and, work in TV and film and hopefully one day make a Marvel movie. So we're trying to take the steps that are required to get us to that point where we can direct a Marvel movie. Right. And whether that's, next year or, several years from now, whenever we get there, like the goal is that's what we're trying to attain. That's where we're trying to go. So, and I think everybody on our team kind of has that same mentality. Like we all want to do that. We all want to do this. And yeah.
That's dope, man.
I hope I answered the question. I think I went totally off topic.
No,
That's good. I was gonna say, I think you guys definitely do have what it takes to, like, in your words, like, direct a Marvel film and produce that, because with what you have right now, you're blowing minds, man. Like, when I first saw, I think the first video I saw might have been the Deadpool video or the
Deadpool versus Deadpool.
Yeah, I think it was Deadpool versus, or the Quicksilver versus Flash.
Yeah.
Man, I was like, these guys are making this out here. Like,
Yeah, all that shit blew my mind. I was like, what the fuck? Like,
guys-
this is out here.
It's next level when Chuck is sending it to me. I'm
Yeah,
like,
when I-
'Cause he never sends me videos.
Yeah, because I'm like, wait, these fools are in Vegas? Because I seen the background. Because I didn't even look at where it was from. I was just like, what is this video? And then I was like, why does that look like Vegas? And I went down. I was like, these cats are from out here. I was like, oh shit. And I sent it to Keem. And then we were just blown away. Like, that shit.
Thank you.
So excuses if we're fangirling real quick.
No, I appreciate it, guys. It truly means a lot, you know, because we're always trying to hustle it, and it's funny. I lose perspective as to the impact that some of our work has had. Because as far as I'm concerned, it's just a dumb video we made for our YouTube channel. But you know.
But then when you meet people who have actually
seen it and liked it,
it's just like, it's a different experience.
And this
right?
is coming from, you know, because I told Jeremy this. Like, I used to watch Corridor back in there, like when they kind of started. So it was like, when I seen that, I was like, damn, this shit's really good. I was like, Corridor, like, these fools are competing with you guys. You know what I mean? Like, I know they're
senpai, dude.
Yeah, they're gods now too.
So let's talk short-term goals and long-term goals, because you mentioned like being able to direct a Marvel feature film. What about short-term goals? Like, what are you planning for the future within the next 2 to 5 years?
You know what's exciting is, like, some of it I know, some of it I don't know. It's
gonna be like that.
Yeah. Well, like, again, this is for anybody out there who's like hustling and trying to make this happen. The thing is like, you can only plan so much. At a certain point, you kind of need to trust the work that you've done, and trust the people that you work with, and trust the connections that you've made. And then things just kind of start happening on their own.
Yeah.
Which is kind of in the weird zone we're in right now, where things have just kind of started manifesting, I guess you could say. Just things have just started really what seemingly out of nowhere coming. I mean, we have put in the work for years, and I think it's starting to pay off, and we're starting to see that. So short-term goals right now is we're collaborating with a friend of ours. Her name is Mari Takahashi. She is a part of a YouTube channel called Smosh Games.
Oh, wow.
They have about, I think, 7 million something subs on their games channel, like 30 million or something on their main channel. They are some of the dopest people. We shot a video out there in Catalina with them last year, like an Assassin's Creed video that Ubisoft sponsored. It was like one of the dopest things. Yeah. And
I've heard about it. I think Jeremy was talking about that.
Dude, it was like one of the best times of my life. I was like, it was working with these guys. It was incredible. And they had such a good time. And Mari had such a good time that she hit us up and was like, yo, I've been really interested in like expanding my horizons and doing some cool stuff. And like, I really had so much fun working with you guys. Like, it would be dope if we could like start creating some stuff. So we've been like creatively collaborating with her. She's been financing some small projects we've been working on. And it's been really exciting because right now, you know, a goal is movies and TV, always keeping that on the horizon in the back end of what we're, you know, trying to obtain. And so we're trying to fill in the holes in our game. So, you know, one of the things that we're working on right now, we just shot out a cyberpunk-esque action scene called Coyote Sunset, which is like like this proof of concept, like weird cyberpunk kind of short that we worked on, and then we're working on sort of like an anime inspired video next. And we kind of just wanted to stretch and flex our muscles and just see what we can do, and start making some more original stuff. You know, we've been wanting to do some original stuff for years, since the beginning, but like nobody on YouTube watches the original stuff. It's all of our views were in the minute matchups and in the Nightwing series and all the fan film stuff, right? Which is great, and it's incredibly appreciated. I don't want to make that sound like I'm not, because I am more grateful, of course, than anything in the world. But at the end of the day, we're creatives, we're artists. We want to tell our stories and explore our own crazy, ridiculous, stupid ideas and see what those look like.
Well, it's kind of like an artist, like a singer, right?
Yeah.
Like they post their covers, but you still they want to release their own music. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I feel you on that.
And
man.
all we've been doing for the last couple of years is covers.
Right.
And so I'm out here trying to say like, hey, we're doing some good original stuff too.
Some of the best covers I ever seen in my life. Man. Honestly, I think like next next to Corridor Digital, like nobody's really messing with you guys, man.
Bro,
I gotta
you
be
guys-
honest.
Out here for sure, 100%.
Yeah, 100%.
Because there's nobody else out here.
Except Chuck, and he's not that good.
I do my shit in it's just like PNG. Fire.
Have you ever seen Birdemic? That's his level of skills right there.
A classic film. Let me let you guys in on a little secret. I'm not that good. I just work really hard, and this is all I do.
There you go.
I don't spend my time doing really anything else anymore. I find my passion is my 24/7. Like this is my heart and soul is in this. I want it more than anything in the world. I want it more than sleep. I want it more than food. I want it more than hanging out with my friends. I want it more than fun. I want it more than anything else on the planet. And I have since I was 8 years old. And as far as I'm concerned, nothing is going to get in my way until I get there. And
that's the attitude you gotta have.
Yeah.
that's the only attitude that I think will get you to where you're trying to go, because there's so much competition now.
Right.
You know, like anybody can pick up a camera. Anybody, like cameras now are like incredibly high quality. I mean, you got a 4K camera in your pocket right now that you use to call people.
4K 60.
Or 4K 60. I mean, it's compressed and not that great, but hey, you know, but hey, it still works.
Compared to what you used to spend $2,000-$3,000 on 10 years ago, or 15 years ago.
Bro, I was shooting on this shitty little handy camcorder the first couple videos that we made. You know what I mean? So there's no excuses not to do it. But like, if you want it, if you're out here, you want it, like, you got to put in the time, because at the end of the day, I wasn't gifted with the luxury of being incredibly talented. You know what I mean? Like, that didn't come natural to me. I've spent time doing everything that I know how to do, and I think anybody who's gotten anywhere will tell you that talent will get you so far. It's grind, man.
It's the hard work.
It's the grind that gets you where you're trying to go,
and the love of what you do as well. Because like what you said, I think a lot of people need to like listen and let it resonate a little bit. Is like, you really gotta make sure like you wake up to what you're doing and you love it. Like there's no second guessing yourself. Like, is this really what I should be doing? Right. And that's probably going to happen like at the beginning of anything you start, you know what I mean? Because it's questionable
It's got to be passion driven for sure, man. It's got to be something that you would do if you had $1 billion. You
just have to have
You would just be doing it on a bigger level, right?
100%.
Like this podcast, nobody is asking us to do, like, yeah, we have some people that listen and that's great, but really, why do we take the time to settle this up, to record it, to produce it, to really put it out there and promote it? Why do we do that? Because it's something that we love doing. We love
it's fun.
Giving people a platform to speak and kind of give their perspectives on things and kind of motivate other people. That's something that we love doing. And if we had $1 billion tomorrow, we would still be doing this. We would just maybe had like a bigger studio or something.
Like nicer mics,
nicer headphones.
We get those Rode
and better headphones for damn sure, because it's peaking all the time.
Yeah, that's one of the things. So these headphones that we listen to them, for those who are listening to the podcast only, we have headphones on, and when we listen to them, because they're so crappy, they distort and they sound terrible. But when you listen to it on iTunes in your car, it's gonna sound really good.
But it's peaking right now.
It's just a terrible experience while we record it. So Sennheiser, you out there? Hit us up.
What are these? My bad. I gotta look at it. You keep talking.
You gotta enjoy the journey, right? I mean, ultimately, that even honestly, man, that's always been a huge struggle of mine, to just be candid. It's like sometimes just enjoying the journey and realizing, like, my girlfriend put it in perspective the other day, because I'm like, we have 2 videos that we're working on, that we've been working on for a while. We got some stuff set up after this. You know, we're starting to collaborate with more people to do like more music videos and like more creative collaborations and whatnot. And this is my full-time job now. So it's like, you know, it's like I am a full-time creative. And I was like, you know, I was venting or stressing about something, and my girlfriend's like, you need to chill, because do you realize that like where you are right now and where you were like last year, a year and a half ago, like you're still working a job that you didn't like, you were still, you know, like struggling and trying to get to where you're trying to go. And then now, like, you know, things are a lot, you're living your dream essentially. And
you have good problems to have.
And I was just like, yeah. The perspective that put in is like, I still have the same mindset I had when I had 0 subscribers, but I think that, and that's like, it's not the way to be, you know. You gotta appreciate the journey. You gotta be grateful for the journey, and understand that, like, that you know, like, you're on your way to California, you're gonna stop at Bakersfield or whatever, Baker, like, you know, just enjoy your rest stop and then get back on the road and keep going where you're trying to go. You know, don't stress about or fucking floor it to try to get where you're trying to go. Enjoy the journey, and if you are capable of enjoying the journey, then you are capable of succeeding.
There you go.
Because if you love what you like, this is why your podcast has continued to elevate and get people's attention over the last year, because you guys continue to do it. You're staying consistent. You're clearly doing a really good job, and you're clearly passionate about it, and that's showing through. I mean, I saw it when you guys hit me up. I looked up your stuff, and I was like, yeah, dude.
So like social media looks clean.
Yeah,
YouTube's there. Like they got they post daily. Like what?
You guys are doing doing a kick-ass job, man.
So let me ask, because you mentioned you had the Hawk Talk podcast, right?
Right.
What's going on with that?
Well, we ended Hawk Talk, I think, kind of abruptly last year. And this is the first time I've actually gone on record talking about it with anyone in any capacity. But we just weren't really passionate about it anymore, man. Like, honestly, a lot of the stuff we were doing on YouTube just kind of became repetitive, redundant. It stopped being fun and started feeling like work. It felt like we were starting to chase views. And frankly, like the cost of our videos, like those videos, I appreciate all the praise for them. These things are expensive.
Oh yeah.
And we weren't making enough through ad revenue or through Patreon to frankly justify the cost of what we were trying to do. And the older we get and the more skilled we get, the more it's just like, you can't just ask your friends to come on set and work for free anymore, man.
Right, right.
Like, you gotta, these are like people like Rob Chotto. He is a goddamn incredible professional, and he is incredibly talented. And like, people like that need to be compensated. So it's just like, at a certain point, we're just like, okay, well, we are not happy with where we are. So we kind of all just decided that we need to take a step back and reevaluate. Right. And see and try to spark that passion again. And so we kind of took a step back from YouTube. We took a step back from our podcast. We ended our podcast. We took a step back from YouTube. We really only posted like a couple of things since we ended the podcast. And we've been, again, working on more creative collaborations. Like, that's been more what we've been doing. I mean, and commissions and whatnot. Like, we were commissioned by Death Battle to do their fight scene. We were commissioned by Smosh to do their fight scene. We're, taking commissions for music videos and stuff, and other like action scenes for other filmmakers and creatives and whatnot. And that's kind of been really fun and really fulfilling lately. And we're kind of going to be coming back to YouTube later this year, but in a different capacity, a more mature version of Ismahawk, a more mature version of us. We are, I guess, we're our end goal, which I've, stated, our end goal that we're trying to obtain. It's like, we weren't going to get there by continuing to do what we were doing. And so I know it was upsetting to a lot of our audience. We have almost 600,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel. The podcast had, I think it had roughly around 1,500 listens, nothing crazy, but it was people were
definitely listening.
Yeah, people were definitely listening. We had an audience, and it feels bad. And I know none of us really feel great about like ending it so abruptly and whatnot, and not coming back, because we did have a really amazing, loyal audience who supported us and whatnot. But it's like, at the end of the day, man, mental health, you got to make sure that shit's there. Yeah. You got to make sure that you're
you have to be selfish sometimes.
Yeah.
As bad as that sounds, like, people have to understand, like, if you're not good, how is the product going to be good? Because
it shows in our work, I think. If you look at a couple of our more recent videos that I think after the Joker versus Joker video,
which was dope.
Thanks. Yeah. It's one of my favorites. Yeah. After that, I think we were so burned out that we kind of started tapering out, and that's kind of when we were just like, that's kind of when the enthusiasm amongst the team started to be like, all right, well, this has been really dope. This has been a dope ride. We've loved it. Incredible that we're here. But like, what is the next step? Mm-hmm. What are we doing next? And then, we're on our phase 2 right now. We're trying to figure it out.
It's definitely important that you do take the time to figure out, like you said, your passion, what it is, where do you want this thing to go?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you said, you want it to be directing movies, right?
Right.
how can you be directing movies if you're dedicating your time to this YouTube channel, or is the YouTube channel going to help you get there? Like those are things that you have to talk about it as a team, and then decide what actions you're going to have to take after that. You know.
And I'm not saying the YouTube channel couldn't help us reach that goal, but the content we were creating,
right,
that was, I think, that's where our bottleneck was. It was just like, are we making content that we're still passionate about? Like I said, like, you know, we're over here doing remixes and covers when we want to be doing original songs. So it's like that's kind of where we're at. It's like we want to work on more original stuff, whether it's our idea or someone else's idea that we're helping bring to life. It's like that, you know, we want to start filling in the holes in our game while working on fun, exciting, creative projects, which is what we're doing now. Again, and it's incredible.
I kind of feel like Ismahawk could be a actual superhero. Now, before we get there, I want to ask, what is Ismahawk? What does that stand for? How did you come up with that name?
Ismahawk was my gamer tag.
Okay.
I worked at a Game Crazy before they went out of business.
Shout out Game. They went out of business.
They've been out of business years ago.
Right.
So was Game Crazy Hollywood video?
Yeah. So
Hollywood video went out of business too.
Yeah, simultaneously. So I worked there when I was 16, and when I got hired there, all the dudes that I work with all had these super cool gamer tags, and I had a really dumb one that had like numbers at the end and whatnot. It was lame.
At sign.
Yeah, XX, you know, all that stuff. And I was like, oh, I want to come up with a cool gamer tag. So my boss at the time was like, think of a cool combination of words that sound cool, and I was like, well, hawks are cool, they're like birds of prey, they're pretty cool. And then Isma is actually a prefix to Ismail, which the Ismaili are they're basically the group that the term assassin was actually for this group. They created an assassin group organization.
Oh, wow.
The entire Assassin's Creed series is based off Ismaili.
That sounds so tight.
So it should be Ismaili Creed.
So yeah, Isma. So it's actually really interesting. It originated in ancient Persia, and it's super interesting. Part of my culture that I'm like really, really proud of and interested in, and they don't touch on it in the games at all.
Yeah,
which is really weird.
My brother's hooked on those Assassin's Creed games. I don't have the capacity to sit down and play video games anymore. Nothing against them. My attention span, like unless it's God of War, doesn't really work that way anymore. You know. But yeah, sorry, continue.
No, yeah. It's that's basically it. Like. I thought of a cool word. It meant something. There's cultural relevance, and that was my gamer tag for Xbox, not the name of my company.
Right.
So, we made our first Nightwing video in like 2012, and back then you couldn't change your name on YouTube. It was either whatever it was, or change it to your name, whatever your Google Plus was.
Yeah.
So we were like, okay, well, I asked Jeremy, I was like, well, do you want to just stick with Ismahawk? And it was just like, yeah, it's pretty cool. So literally my gamer tag became the name of our production company, and
that's super dope.
Been like that ever since.
I like that though.
Yeah, it's a fun origin
because the meaning behind it is actually pretty deep.
Yeah, man.
Ismaili. How do you say it?
Ismaili. It's like Ismail. And Persian in Farsi, you use the I at the end typically can refer to like multiple or group of people. So Ismaili is multiple Ismails.
Damn.
That's another game I used to play a lot. Prince of Persia.
Yeah.
On the PlayStation 2, I think it was.
I want to make a Prince of Persia movie. I want to bring that back. I want to make a good one, not with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, I mean Jake Gyllenhaal's a great actor, one of my favorite actors. But yeah, I feel like that movie could definitely be done. Yeah,
love Jake Gyllenhaal. Yeah. I would cast a Persian in the role though. Prince of Persia.
Yeah, see, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Have you seen Nightcrawler though? With Jake Gyllenhaal?
No, I haven't. Bro, I heard it's dope.
You gotta watch it. Yeah, I always tell people to watch that movie. It's so dope. I would say like Jake Gyllenhaal's one of my favorite actors.
Yeah.
And that movie was like, I don't know, there's something about it.
Incredible.
Because he's a videographer in that movie, but he's also like not really a videographer. He's using it as a hustle, and it's a lot of crazy stuff that goes on. You gotta watch it. I don't want to spoil it for you.
I heard it's dope, and I love Jake Gyllenhaal. Just saw him in Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Damn,
Chuck
completely out of the loop. Completely
with the superhero movies.
Yeah, everything. Just who's Jake
Gyllenhaal?
What does he look like? I'll look at him after. I know.
He's the dude from Donnie Darko.
Oh, Which
That
one?
was a long time ago, though.
The main character, he was Donnie.
Oh shit. Okay, now I know who that is. I don't. Does he still look the same?
Yeah, pretty much.
Here we go. I'm gonna show you a picture,
sorry.
Chuck. Just so you. Dude, I googled Donnie Darko instead of Jake Gyllenhaal.
He's literally been in everything.
There's no way you can't have seen this guy.
I know who that is.
Yeah.
My bad.
Bubble Boy.
Bubble
Bro,
Boy.
Come on, how do we not?
Bubble Boy. I
Yeah.
love Bubble Boy,
Bubble
dude.
Boy.
It's crazy when you say names. I'm like, huh? Nah.
But you
I
tell
don't
him a
know.
movie, he's like, oh, that's the one. So I kind of want to touch on something. I forgot where I was going with, but I did have another question.
Yeah.
Film school. You said you went to film school, right?
Right.
Oh no! Before we go there, now I remember you were talking about directing like those action movies and all that stuff.
Yeah.
What is it like directing an action scene? Because there's a lot of fighting, there's a lot of coordination that goes into it. Like, do you have to like draw out like a game plan of how you're gonna tell people to fight, or do you tell them how to fight, or you just let them take control? How does that work?
Oh, it's my favorite thing in the world, directing action scenes. I love it so much. But it's incredibly stressful, and there's a lot of moving parts. You know, safety is always the number one priority. We work with the stunt team; they help to choreograph the fight.
Okay.
But we usually, to pen up the script, and once we have the script ready, we'll throw it to them and be like, "Here's how I see the action scene." We'll talk about it a little bit, then they'll go off and choreograph it. Then while they're doing their thing, on our end, we're getting, figuring out the location, figuring out, what's our lighting schematic going to look like. The thing about action scenes is that it requires a lot of setups in a short amount of time, and depending on the type of action scene that you're going to do. So a lot of it changes depending on what kind of action scene we're doing at the time. Because, we have to find a location that will allow Jeremy to potentially pre-light. So, go in the day before and light the environment, or go in a few hours early and light the environment, because lighting takes up a huge amount of time. Like all that stuff set up takes a crazy amount of time. And then we just want to go. What's it like directing those scenes? I mean, it's fun. If you've ever been on a film set, you notice that sometimes, things can slow down, things get kind of boring. But like when you're shooting an action scene, and there's actual actors and stuntmen doing like stunts, like people cheer. And after takes, there's like clapping and cheering and yelling, and it's a really energetic and exhilarating environment. I mean, obviously, like, while keeping safety and all that stuff as the number one priority, but like, you see someone do a freaking two backflips
Double backflip
into a somersault, you're just like, I love my job. I love my life.
Right.
Like, I just filmed this dude doing a double backflip and then landing in a somersault and in like some crazy action pose, and it's just like, it's a blast, dude.
Yeah. It's funny because like I'm always scared of doing like feature films, like if I ever did one day, but like an action movie just seems so much fun. It seems very hard, but like
super hard.
Ever since Tony Jaa was like one of my like the original unbox and all that.
Oh,
like,
yeah. The
those
Protector
ones blew my mind because I was like, damn, this actor is putting in the work.
Yep.
Jackie Chan in it, and I'm just like, and then I watched that thing with Corridor because I forgot about it. I forgot about unbox. Have you seen him?
No, I haven't.
Whew. Bro, like, you definitely need to check them out. But they did what is it? Reacting with the Stuntman.
Oh yeah.
And I was just like, damn, dude, there's so many moving parts, and if anything gets fucked up, and this is the main actor, so if he gets fucked up, like if he gets knocked out
over.
or breaks something, like, damn.
And they're doing it on the Hollywood scale. Like, we're still doing it pretty indie. I mean, like, bare bones. Like, they actually have like they were talking like on Ong Bak, like they've got like little like detonators and like shatter glass. Like,
I never knew that.
Destructibles.
Oh, you're talking about the movies, Ong Bak.
Yeah.
I haven't seen those movies.
You said Zunbak?
Ong Bak.
Oh, yeah.
ONG, right?
Yeah.
ONG,
Yeah.
yeah. I've always seen them. I've always seen them on like Netflix and stuff.
Bro, just watch 1 and 2. I don't know about 3, but
is it kind of like Ip Man, or is it on another level?
I think another level.
Okay.
Real talk.
You seen Ip Man?
Yeah, it's different than Ip Man.
Yeah.
I think Ip Man.
This is more.
I love Ip Man too.
Yeah, I think Ip Man is super dope, but it's a different type of martial art because he's using Muay Thai, I believe.
Yeah.
And in Ip Man he's using Wing Chun, right?
Oh.
So the way that they're fighting is completely different, but like there's a lot of bone breaking in any Tony Jaa movies. There's a scene in The Protector, I don't know if you've seen that movie, with Tony Jaa, and he literally, like, all these dudes are running at him and he's like, and like literally breaks like 30 guys run at him one at a time, and he grabs this guy, breaks his arm, that guy falls to the ground, this guy like kicks him, he like breaks his leg, and it's just like I've never seen so many broken bones in one scene. It was ridiculous.
It's not real breaking bones, is it?
No, it is real.
I mean,
know that?
Shut your mouth, Chad.
You know what, dude? I'll be perfectly honest. Like, they shoot internationally, and the kind of labor laws
are different.
Yeah, are different out there. And
That's so scary.
You can get away with a lot of stuff, like The Raid. You guys seen The Raid?
No,
bro. What?
You gotta send us an email.
Bro, you haven't seen The Raid?
I haven't seen The Raid.
Dog. The Raid.
On what? DVD? Netflix? Where can we watch it?
I don't know. I'll look for it after this.
He'll send us a private link.
I'll look for it and see where it's at. It might be on Netflix, but dude, it is one of the most literally everyone is copying The Raid.
Yeah.
After that movie came out, it was an Indonesian film. I think Gareth Edwards was the director of that movie, and I think he did Godzilla, the last Godzilla movie. I think if you're listening to this and I'm wrong, I'm sorry. Yeah. But either way, like that, the action in The Raid is some of the most insane fight choreography I've ever seen. Super low budget, and literally everyone has been trying to copy them like ever since.
Is it kind of like in the style of like a John Wick, where it's like a long scene kind of a thing, or is it just the actual action in it?
It's just crazy.
Or is it just the coordination between like the fighting and then the
Is
explosives?
it like Mohawk on crack, basically?
Yeah,
like
dude, it's really
steroids. Sorry,
I gotta watch it. I gotta watch this Mohawk, man. You guys are losing me with this. I don't know what it looks like. I gotta watch the scene.
It's tight, but man, if you're gonna watch Mohawk or The Raid, my vote is in The Raid, because the Raid is. I'm telling you, man. I think when
people
that
died.
Dude, there was like some guy almost got like blinded by one of the action scenes. There was like a door frame with this like wood like piece of the door frame sticking out, and I can't just watch it, dude.
Yeah.
It's so good.
You're hyping it up pretty good, man.
I feel the hype, so I gotta watch it.
It's dope. It's simple. Like, bunch of police enter a building. Have you guys ever seen Dredd?
Yes. No.
No, I have not.
I've seen Judge Dredd.
Not the one with Stallone?
No.
Or the one with Carl Urban?
I think it's a new one.
Carl Urban? Okay, so that one, Dredd.
Okay.
That one is actually like sort of inspired by The Raid, where the characters go like literally are moving up a building and fighting the bad guys in order of badness. Like, that's literally what it is. And the action is just like high octane, super intense, super
check
fun.
this out.
I'm definitely gonna watch it. That sounds so much fun.
If you guys like
so would you say those are kind of like your inspirations when it comes to when you direct the scene? Like, you kind of have them in mind?
I mean, yes and no. Yes, because they just did it so excellently. But like, no, in that, you know, we want to try to create our own voice. And so I kind of think of, you know, what stupid, crazy, ridiculous ideas are in my brain that we can figure out. And I always throw ideas out to Jeremy, and he's always like, why do you always have to come up with the most complicated ideas? and I'm like, I'm sorry, but it's worked out pretty well for us so far, right? And he's just like, and then he'll go and he'll do it, and you know, it'll work out. And
that's tight.
Sometimes it doesn't, and sometimes he's like, shoots me the stare, you know what I mean?
But you gotta, because that's how you become different, and that's how you create your own lane. Yeah, so I definitely believe that.
What's the most amount of scenes that you've done, or most amount of takes you've done in a scene to get it right?
I mean,
like ballpark, do you usually nail it in like 5-10 takes?
No.
Or is it like 50, 100?
I mean, here's the thing, like, if we had the time, I'd go all day, because I'd Kubrick this bitch, because
perfectionist.
Yeah, because I want it to to be perfect.
Kubrick was crazy.
He was a little too crazy.
Yeah.
That's a little too extra.
Yeah.
But like, you know, split the difference, right? But like, you know, we're on such short timelines because, again, independent productions, independent action scenes, we don't always have the luxury to get it perfect because we don't have the finances to keep us on set. So sometimes we're only really allowed at the most to have, you know, 4 or 5 takes at the most, because you also have to keep in consideration the energy that your actors and your performers have. You know, they may not, like, we did a backflip scene in the Nightwing versus Daredevil project, and like, I was like, we got 3 of those tops, dude. I mean, this dude's doing like literally 2 back handsprings into a backflip and then landing on his feet. I'm like, we're gonna have to Like, how many times are we going to get this dude to do this before he gets too tired? We still have the rest of the day that we need to shoot out. And someone needs to throw a flying knee into a car a little later. Right. We got to make sure that there's enough energy, you know, to spare. So we don't always have the chance to go, you know, do a million takes. But frankly, if I had them, we would, you know, we shoot our action scenes within 1 to 3 days. The Raid, they shoot one action scene, usually takes at least like 7 days, 7 to 14 days.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're
so it's like
it up real good. I gotta watch this, man.
Well, that's not even just the Raid. Like, that's like any good action movie, and I'm not talking like. Unfortunately, a lot of American action movies suffer from this. They suffer from excessive handheld use and quick cuts and
to kind of get around having to do a writing camera.
Yeah,
they just edit it in.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
The John Wick, however, is the opposite of that, the antithesis, if you will, where they are basically trying to do more long takes, and every moment needs to be perfect. So you can tell that they spend a crap ton of time on those action scenes. You can kind of tell the difference. The wider the action scenes and the more like concise the movements, they probably spent, a full couple hours trying to get that one shot. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
So because you mentioned spending that much time on a scene, let's say you're spending all day on one scene, does Hollywood usually have like how many stunt doubles does Hollywood usually have to like fill in for those? Because you said like one actor can get tired throughout the process of a couple hours.
Yeah.
Do you think that the actor should do it all the time, or should they have stunt doubles? How does that work?
I mean, I speaking on Hollywood, I haven't done enough work in Hollywood to truly know exactly what the process is, but based off of what I know, it seems like the actors generally have a couple of doubles depending on what the stunts are. They have like, their set double, and then there's usually like another double who will come in and do like specialized things. Like if somebody's going to be lit on fire, usually you need specialized, someone who's experienced,
who knows how to get themselves out of that situation.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Who's been lit on fire before and knows how to safely deal with it, right? On our sets, we try to hire athletic actors who can act and also do the stunts, because we can't really afford doubles all the time, and sometimes and like especially on an indie level, it's so hard to get them to look right. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you'll have a really, really great actor and a really great stunt person, but the skin complexion is off, and you're just like, well, like you're going to be able to tell that this person is more tan than this person, and then it's going to take the audience out of it because now they're like, oh, look, that's a double, or like the hair consistency is different or whatever, and it's just like you got to look at that kind of stuff.
There's so many,
there's so many factors, many moving parts when you're shooting action, but it's dope and it's fun.
And going to the feature film, like one day, whatever you guys do, what is the whole timeline on getting stuff? Like, would you guys be doing everything, like being the production company, being the funders, being all that, or would you find investors, or how do you guys like feel like you're going to go about something like that?
Oh man, I think it really depends. We've considered, because when you deal with outside investors, you deal with a level of pressure and expectation, right? Which is, why, there's a lot of artists who choose to like stay indie so they can have a lot of creative control. The bigger you go, the less creative control you get, right? So ideally, ironically, I aspire to work on a film that probably gives me a very restrictive creative freedom, right? In a Marvel movie, you probably are going to be, they're going to give you a little box and they're going to say, work within this box, which is dope. It's totally fine because I want to do that.
Because you'll learn a lot too.
Yeah. But like in the beginning.
There's so much, man, to learn. Bro. Like I work at a company right now where it's like, it's not even on that level.
Yeah.
And the amount of input that you get from not even just the team around you, from like a manager or director, but you're also talking about like, the marketing side of people. Like, oh no, you can't have this kind of shot, or you can't have a photo of the person this way because then it shows this. I'm like, oh my god, like there's so many things that as a creative you wouldn't think, because you're just looking at the overall artistic value of it versus the how is it going to look like on print, or how's it going to look
part.
the
No,
PC
kidding.
part. You know what I mean? Yeah.
This is this is actually a really important note for, again, anybody listening out there who is interested in doing this. It's like, you can't just be a creative.
No.
You can't just be
unless
good.
you fund everything yourself and you just do it for you.
But you still can't just be a creative. You got to be a business person to an extent. If you don't understand the business that you're getting into, if you don't understand the rules of the game that you're playing, then how are you going to move forward on the board? Like, yeah, you can accidentally make mistakes and still make progress forward, but you need to have some sort of business acumen and think about this as a business. You know, me and Jeremy always refer to it as industry versus artistry. It's a class that we had at UNLV, and the fact of the matter is you could be the most creative and have like the most out there artistic, auteurish ideas, but the problem is if you don't know project management, then especially on an independent level, then you're going to run into some trouble, right? Because you're going to need to, like, especially like with the kind of stuff that we do, the stuff that we do, it requires a ton of project management, because like when I first started out, I was producing, I was directing, I was acting, I was editing, I was doing the visual effects. Like I had to manage that entire project. And now you get to the point where we're starting to delegate those tasks, which is a whole other thing that you'll need to know how to navigate. So it's like, you got to have a business sense to you, and what's going to sell and what is going to get people's attention. That's again why we went with superhero stuff. And granted, we love it, so it's like it's super easy because it's already something we're passionate about. But at the same time, it's like, oh, if we remix our favorite superheroes and make some cool like versus videos, that'll get more attention than if we made something more original, and that'll help us spin out into doing more original stuff. Right.
You guys definitely have a handle on the whole thing, because I mean, without having done those minute matchups, those superheroes, and then being consistent with those. Yeah. It would have been. It's not easy to say, but like, do you think you would have gotten the same amount of attention, the same amount of like subscribers and community without doing that?
No.
Right?
No.
And that's what I tell
industry
a lot of
versus artistry.
Yep.
That's what I tell a lot of.
That's the industry, and the industry can be soul sucking, like we talked about earlier in the show. Like, the industry aspect can be soul sucking sometimes if you are not. If that spark goes away, and you feel like if you feel like you're creatively stifled, then yeah, you're not going to do well. Like, you can't lean too far in any sense, because like, think about it like this. DC Comics is right now industry over artistry. Like, the way that they've been making their movies, the way the decisions they've been putting into their movies has been, what's going to make us the most money? Instead of, like, can we make something good and also use that to make money, which is clearly Marvel's formula. Like, we're going to make something good, and that thing being good is going to make money, or at least it's good enough to make money, right?
See, that's why when we talk about that, I think about movie posters. Like, movie posters are nowadays, like, and this is a whole topic, but I feel like they've gotten super lazy with movie posters as opposed to the way they used to be in the 70s and 80s, where they were super artistic. Like, look at any like Friday the 13th movie poster. Like, it's so crazy. Like, there's complexity. There's faces woven into other faces. Like, there's the way it was done. But then you look at posters now, and it's just like the floating heads, or you have like the what's it called, the Avengers poster, where it's like one character and then everybody around them. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same thing over and over again. But it goes back to the whole, like, that's what people expect. That's what, when you see a movie poster, that's what people associate it with. Oh, that's going to be a box office hit. You know what I mean? So,
or at least that's what they're trying to do, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So, yeah,
Danny, thank you so much, man.
Thank you so much, man.
We are hitting the 1 hour mark.
Dang.
And don't want to take too much of your time.
That flew by.
Trying to keep these podcasts a little bit on the shorter side. There's so much more we could definitely get into. But for those who are listening, watching the video on YouTube, where can people find you and kind of get in contact with you?
You can find us, youtube.com/Ismahawk is our YouTube channel. You can find me at Danny Leshep on Twitter and Instagram. You can also follow Ismahawk at Ismahawk on Twitter, Instagram, on Facebook, and look out for dang, I think her channel is Atomic Mari. And yeah, keep your eyes on that channel, because we will be distributing a couple of new videos within the next couple of months, I think, on that channel. Those are going to be some new, I think, really cool projects that we're really excited about. They're really off the wall and kind of goofy and totally our personality, totally my personality.
I can't wait, man, because you guys always kill it, and I'm always looking forward to what you guys are dropping. I'm gonna go ahead and put all your guys' information, all the links that you send me are gonna be in the bio below. For everybody who's listening on iTunes, Spotify, watching on YouTube, make sure you guys click that subscribe button and follow us on Apple Podcasts. But until next time, Thank you guys for rocking with us, and we'll catch you guys in the next morning dinner.
Later.
Every time I come in the kitchen, you in the kitchen, in the goddamn refrigerator.
I sure am hungry.
Are you guys still watching? Because guess what? Right now is the perfect opportunity. If you made it all the way through, to click that like button. So, what was that? Bleep, 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 bleep. So you do something weird with your hands, and I was like, whoa, buddy, but chill out there. Click that subscribe button.
Click, 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 click.
I keep thinking rate in my head. Like, don't forget to like, comment, rate, and subscribe.
Because you're stupid.
There we go. God damn it, Chuck. We got to do that one all over again.
No, bro. That was funny. I think that'll be funny.
Don't forget, guys, we also are available on podcasting platforms like Spotify. I was thinking for a second. We're available on Spotify, Anchor, Stitcher Radio, Apple Podcasts, and many, many more platforms. If you guys are on the go and want to listen to the audio only, don't forget to go ahead and follow us on Apple Podcasts and all that good stuff.
Please
leave us a review if you guys feel like being awesome and want to support the channel. We do this for free at no cost to you. And if we want to keep it that way, just like the videos, guys.
The only cost is your hours of the day.
There we go. And not even hours, like
which you can never get back. So
10
just
seconds.
remember that.
Give us a second of your time and click that like button.
Yep.
All right, guys. See you guys in the next one.
Oh, shit. I wasn't recording.
For real?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
I think that is a funny way to end out.